All right, so section 6.4, we're only going to do about half of it today. And we're going to do the easier half today. Yay, it's a Friday. Let's kind of take it easy today, right? All right, so we're going to rewrite radicals in exponential form. We're going to rewrite radicals or rational exponents into radical form. And then we're going to simplify expressions with rational exponents. So today's focus is just in the rewriting phase. Got that? Only in the rewriting. We're going to look at the simplification part, which is a little harder. We'll look at that on Monday. So today we're going to look at, take it from this form, rewrite it into this form. You're not actually solving anything. You're not simplifying anything. You're just rewriting from one form to the next. Okay? So that's not so bad. All right, so here we go. So radicals and rational exponents. The nth root of x can be written without the radical, and they can write that entire radical as a fraction. Right? You're like, great, more fractions. Let's put them somewhere else where we don't like them, right? That's exactly what happens. All right, so if we're looking at this, what's the exponent right now on this x? It's a 1. Do you see where the 1 went? It went to the top, and the root, or the index, went to the bottom. Okay? So we are going to be having exponents now that are fractions. Anytime you see a fraction for an exponent, that means it can be rewritten as a radical. Okay, that's what those mean. One thing that always people struggle with when they see these a lot, they're like, okay, is the top number the index or is the bottom number the index? I'm never sure. So the index is also known as a root, right? We'll say like the square root, the third root of something. So where do roots grow? Roots. Where are roots? They're where? What's the word you just said? They're under. They're underground, right? The roots are underground. They're under the fraction. Under. So roots are, I was going with the plant analogy. I was trying to help you get there. Roots are under the ground, so therefore they are under the fraction. Right, so the index is the denominator. Think of them as roots. That always helps me because every time I go to look at things and we get fractions like 2/3 and 4/5, and you're like, which one's the root? Which one's the exponent? It's hard to remember which one. I think of the roots are underground, so the roots are under the fraction bar. It helps me remember that. All right, so radical expressions can be written in blank. In what? Exponential form. I heard all kinds of weird stuff right there. Exponential form. In other words, a radical can be written with an exponent instead. And then rational exponents can be written in radical form. Yes, it's totally radical, dude. All right, so our main focus for right now is we're going to be switching back and forth between the two. Again, I'm not simplifying, I'm not solving anything, I'm just practicing going back and forth. Okay? Yes? We don't have a test today. We don't have a quiz or anything. There's normally a quiz. Normally there would be a quiz today. Sure you were. Not believing you, but okay. No, I took the quiz out so we have time to get through this chapter and the next chapter before exams. And still give you time for exam review. So I took the quiz out. All right, so here we go, guys. So we are switching from radical form to rational exponents, okay, to exponential form. So if I look at this, it would be 9, and I need to write it with an exponent now. Good, it'd be to the 1/5. Because what's the exponent on the 9? There's a 1 there. All right, so the cubed root of 10 can be written as 10 to the 1/3. Guys, I cannot stress to you enough how important it is that you start to recognize this pattern like quickly As we get into chapter 7, we're dealing with logarithms. I think some of you who took the ACT said you saw log on your math portion. I'm going to teach it to you next chapter. But if you don't know how to do this switch back and forth, you're going to struggle. Some of it. Before you take it. All right, how about the square root or radical 7? Good, 7 to the 1 over 2. Remember, that's a 2 for an index when we don't see it. We'll be careful here. 5x, all of that is underneath the 8th root. Hold on. So you said 5x and then what? Just like this? I feel like it's wrong too. I love the arguments. An exponent only goes with whatever it's right next to. Are they both underneath there right now? Uh-huh. So the other way that you could do this is you could write 5x in parentheses because it's a whole group that was under there and put the whole thing to the 1/8. You could do it that way. Because otherwise, if you just write 5x to the 1/8, if I had you switch that back into the form, to me, the 5 has an exponent of 1. So the 5 would just be on the outside, and then it'd be the 8th root of x if I flipped it back. So this, yeah, yep. So if you want both things to be under the 8th root, you'd have to have an exponent or an exponent of 1/8 on both of them, or you could put the whole thing in a group as 1/8. Which, you know me, I'm a lazy mathematician. I'd go there. All right, so we can have you guys try some of these on your own. Here we go. There are 5 of them. Try them on your own. All right, guys. Sounds like we're done. So here we go. How did you write the first one? Like that? All right, there it is. What about number 2? Number 3? 93 to the 1/2. Hey, guys. Number 4? You could have done parentheses to the 1/4 or 6 to the 1/4 m to the 1/4. Either way. This is easier for me, but either way is fine. And then number 5, 8t parenthesis 1/9, or 8 to the 1/9 t to the 1/9. Either way. How are you feeling with that? Can we transition okay? Good. So now let's go the other way. If I give you the x or the rational form, can you switch it back into the radical form? Guys, hold on. One at a time. I can't hear y'all when you're all talking. Ramon. Good. Do I need the 1 here? No, you don't have to. If you want it there, so it makes you feel better to put a number somewhere, then that's fine. All right, so or the second one, I guess it's not numbered. Second one? You mean the indexes too? Yeah. Okay. Okay, what about this one? 7th root of y. Now be careful how you're reading these. I know what you mean, but you're reading it wrong. Thank you. What? Good. 9x is under here. Very nice. Because right here, what's the exponent on the 5? That's got an exponent of 1, right? It's not a fractional exponent. It does not go underneath the radical. What's wrong there, Stephanie? That was quite the face you just made. Here, the whole group goes underneath the 4th root. Because of the parentheses made it a whole group. Okay, one thing you really need to make sure you understand, exponents only go to whatever it's right next to. Okay, bless you. So in this case, the 1/3 exponent is only on the x. Here it goes to everything because it's grouped. Parentheses made it a whole group, goes underneath it. Here, only the x goes underneath the third root. The 5 is just 5 to the first. It stays on the outside. Okay, so your turn. All right, here we go, guys. Number 6. What about number 6? Ramon? No, the index is 6. Or you could have just read it to me as the 6th root of 19. All right, number 7, Hannah. Good. Number 8, Riley. Do I have to put that 2 or the 1 on that one? I like that one. Good. If you would like that there, because you're like, I need to put the 1 and the 2 somewhere. Yes, that's fine. Absolutely. Yeah, totally fine. I'm just lazy. I don't want to write it. All right, it's number 9, Stephanie. All right, Mariah, you want to help her out? It's okay. Just give it a shot. Yeah, 11's the index. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Don't make that so hard, guys. This whole group, there's the whole group, and then there's my index, my rational exponent. Yeah. Now, here, hold on. If I would pull this out somewhere else, where would you put it? Yeah. Because remember, the roots are underground. So my roots, my index, that's what goes out there. If we were simplifying, yes. Today, we're just focusing on switching back and forth. That'll get us into Monday. Yes. All right. Number 10. Oh, she's going to get this one. All right. 14. Were you telling me okay or shit? Yeah, good. Guys, take a look at 10. Make sure you did that one okay. The 14, that does not have a rational exponent, so it just stays on the outside. It does not go under the radical. Questions so far? We're liking today? Not too bad? All right, so let's look at it again, the same process, but let's make it a little harder where we have different exponents. That 2 freaked you out on that last one, so it makes me a little nervous. So, depending on what book you're looking at, what type of worksheet, like what company it's from, things can look slightly different. This drives me crazy, but I just wanted you to see it. Sometimes the exponent is more like upwards towards the top of that radical, which drives me insane. I don't know why you would ever do that. This is typically how I see them. This is how I write them. I would make sure the exponent's actually written down on the x, but just in case it's written that way, I don't want you to freak out. It's not anything different. All right, and then it switches over here. Again, this is where it's helpful to remember your index is your root that grows underground, and then the exponents are on top. Okay, exponents, we usually see them written up high. That's written up real high. All right, so on the first, ooh, that green kind of like hurts your eyes, doesn't it? All right, so on the first one up there, I'll use a dark color so it doesn't look weird. 3? Good. 3 to the 2/5. Where your index or your root is underground, the exponent is up top. Again, do you see why sometimes it would get confusing when you're looking at that going, wait a minute, which one's the index and which one's the, sometimes it gets a little confusing. All right, so the next one is going to be 6 to the 5/2. Good, remember the index here is a 2. Roots are below ground, so that's the underneath part. Next one. Good, 11/8. You got to kind of stop and like, wait, which one's which? Even I still do that sometimes. I'm like, wait, oh, yeah, roots are underground, so that one's the underneath part. And then the bottom one. Very good. Again, the index, the root is underneath part. Hopefully that sticks in your mind, helps you remember that. All right, your turn to. All right, number 11, what do we get? 7 to the 9/4. Katie, number 12. Marcus, number 13. Good. Caleb, number 14. Perfect. Finally, an easy day in math, right? Yes, finally. All right. Now we got to go backwards. All right, Kelsey, what do you think of the first one here? Wow, that was painful to hear you guys read those sometimes. I knew what you meant. It's all right. I speak student. It's okay. If it was me reading that, I would read that to you as the cubed root of 5 squared. I just want to make sure you're clear on how I'm reading them because I read answers to you guys all the time. Just how I would read that. All right, so Michaela, the next one. Oh, she read that beautifully. The 10th root. Roots are underground. So that's when it comes out. She practiced. She practiced. That a girl. All right, Jessica, the next one, do you think? Yeah. If that's not in parentheses, it's going to be wrong. Because otherwise that 7 would only go to the H and not also the 8. And then the bottom one, Peyton. Mm-hmm. Very nice. That 3 has an exponent of 1. It does not go under a radical. All right, your guys' turn to try. Vanessa, 15. Hold on. Start again, Vanessa. Uh-huh. Been around Ramon too long. Michaela, can you read that how it should be read? I know. Yeah, I figured. Yep. Thank you. All right, number 16, Allie. Good. Number 17, Tatiana. Yeah. Because otherwise, if I read it without the parentheses, that squared would only go to the C. Okay. Good. And then 18, Sean. Huh? Oh, I was just writing what he said. I'm just being mean to him and writing what he wrote, what he said. You guys, it'd be hilarious if for one day, everything that how you said it, if that's how I wrote it. That'd make you guys really kind of stop and think, wouldn't you? I don't know how to write like jumbo, mumbling.